Was cracking everybody, new video. So a lot's picking up on the channel right now, right? A lot of you guys are liking the content. A lot of you guys are commenting. I'm reading the comments, and I saw a comment right now. Hold on, let me put this up. I saw a comment, and it said something along the lines of, "It's not about the color of your skin. It's about your character and the way you carry yourself." And then someone replied to that, "In California prisons, it's about the color of your skin." And then somebody replied to that, 100 or something like that. But they agreed, right? And it got me thinking, you know, as you guys know, I was in prison for over 24 years, right? And so that was a thought provoking question for me, or a statement, right? And then little interaction. So, how about we go through this together? You tell me what you guys think. So, in prison, the raza from Southern California and the raza from Northern California have been warring. Right now there's an end of hostilities, but they warred for over 50 years. Um, was that racial? Raza from Southern California and Raza from Fresno will beef. Raza from Northern California and Raza from Fresno will beef. Is that racial? They're all Raza in these, right? Crips and Bloods will beef. Crips and Kumis will beef. Sometimes Crips and Crips will beef. Sometimes Muslims and Muslims beef. None of that's racist. So then why is it that if the raza get into it with the blacks, it's automatically racist? Why is it if the raza get into it with the whites, it's automatically racist? Um, in my experience, every time there's an incident, it's based off of disrespect, and more than that, it's based off a breakdown in communication. I never saw a single time when the raza said, "Hey, let's get them fools because they're black." Never. I never saw a single time where it was, "Hey, let's get them fools because they're white." It wasn't that. It was, they did this, we're going to do this. When the Crips and Bloods get into it, it's over an issue of respect. And then it's a breakdown of communication. Um, I'd like someone to prove otherwise to me, because I had never really thought about it. Things happen in there, and they happen. That's all it is. But when I hear people that I don't think any of the three that were involved in that conversation were ever in prison, and it was so easily accepted that it's all based on skin color, it's not. Another thing about California's prison system that's so unique, um, and now, you know what? I don't know. I think Nevada and Arizona are similar. I don't really know. I can only speak on California. But one thing about California's prison system and the prison politics, and why it's so unique and what it prevents, like, my video of the no hands policy, right? The one I did on why there's no head up fades. There's no head up fades with anybody, not with just blacks, but within their own car. There's just no head up fades. But all these little rules have made it to where you almost never ever hear about rape in California's prison system. The way the rules are set down for raza is, bullying isn't even allowed. You know, you're not gonna have a dude who's 6'5" in a cell with a guy who's fucking 5'1", and the guy who's 6'5" have him thinking he can bully that guy. It's just not gonna happen. The way the rules are set, it won't happen. It's not allowed. You won't be allowed to rape. You know, the way all these lines are in the sand on the yards, and things are designated. They're all for um, protective purposes. If you have, for an example, the Crips have a basketball court, a half of a basketball court, and then the Bloods have a half. Unless they play with each other, they probably wouldn't get into no bullshit with each other, right? Same thing with if it was the Mexicans and blacks play a sport together. Sports get heated. So wise men at some point said, hey, it's probably best that, give them theirs, we have ours, and we avoid that type of shit that's this big in the scheme of things. Those who are aware already know. There are people who lose a lot of money when prisons go down, when there's a riot. There's no longer anyone making money. So things are put in place to make it possible for people to take care of themselves, take care of their families, do what they feel they got to do behind those walls to make ends meet. Warfare is an impediment in that. Nobody's making money, And so when people think like, oh, what, you should be able to fist fight. No, fist fights easily escalate into weaponry. And then, I mean, anybody who's been behind the walls knows when you hear of an inmate being killed by a cop, 9 times out of 10, it's a Mexican that gets killed. It's just, I'll tell you this. This is real shit, man. And I'll tell you, it's scandalous. It is scandalous. But it's the way people think, the way people thought, and will continue to think. So in 2000, as we're getting closer to that day for that big riot in Pelican Bay, on a yard, the blacks had stabbed a couple cops, right? We already knew. We were just waiting for that final say, go ahead, get them. As we were building up towards it, when the blacks stabbed the cops on a yard, we were thinking, cool. They ain't even gonna shoot none of us. We're gonna get our money, and they're gonna shoot them. Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? We don't have to worry about getting shot. When that riot was over, 15 people were shot. 14 of them were Mexican. So there goes that thinking. And I remember, no, I don't want to get into that part, but I don't believe that things that jump off in prison are based off of skin color. I think they're based off of misunderstandings. Somebody did something they know they weren't supposed to do. And a lot of times things are avoided in there because when you have leaders that are willing to discipline their people and are willing to have open, genuine dialogue with other factions, you usually won't see a riot. It's when you have so-called leaders in place who, when things get out of line, they're not willing to discipline their people. Then they force the ones who were disrespected to say, okay, we're gonna not only discipline that guy, but we're gonna discipline their leadership and everyone else in that crew, in order for them to understand things need to be a certain way. And every faction will do that, you know. Um, I'm interested in seeing how many people are gonna get butthurt over this topic, where I've not offended anybody, but I promise you they're gonna be in there. They're gonna be in the comment section. Well, tell the truth about this. Tell the truth about that. They want me to tell their version of a truth rather than my version, having lived it. It is what it is. Um, but I thank you guys for all the engagement you've been having with the channel. I dig all the stuff you're doing in the comment section. You know, whether I agree with you or not, I appreciate you and I appreciate an opinion, man. So with that, I'm gone. Make sure you tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out.